So I'm back. Consistency is key. So we are back with another video. Once again, welcome to Darian's Lit Reviews. I am Darian, and this video, if you cannot tell by the thumbnail title, is me talking about some series I want to get to. Now, will I get into all of them this year? Probably not. More than likely not. However, I am going to get into some of them, but these are just series, so you can kind of get a taste of what I at least think I'm interested in. I think these are all either fantasy or sci-fi, it looks like. So if you have any recommendations in those genres, or any recommendations at all in any genre of series that you think I just may be interested in, let me know down in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. So the first series I have, and these are in no order, it's literally just as they came to mind. The first series is A Song of Ice and Fire by George R. Martin. If you're not familiar with that, that's Game of Thrones. I watched Game of Thrones, the show. I love it. There was a point where I was getting like I wouldn't say my mom was getting me the DVDs for like birthday gifts every year, but then she stopped it, and now I don't have the complete set. I need to just go ahead, and I'm 28 now. I need to go ahead and just buy the whole set myself. But either way, love Game of Thrones. It's probably one of my favorite TV shows, and honestly, I have not finished it. I think I got to like season 5. Then I didn't watch it for like years. Then I got my wife into it, and then we got to like season 6. We got to the last season, and we just haven't finished it. So I know that people say like the ending is not good, which that's part of the reason why I haven't finished it. But I need to just go ahead and finish it. Either way, I want to read it. So I may not finish it. I may wait until I read it and then go back and finish it. Who knows? But that may be what I do. We'll see. George R. Martin, Song of Ice and Fire. I definitely will be reading at least the first 2 books soon. They're really high up on my TBR once I finally get that official. So those will be read soon. We'll figure out the rest later. The next is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. And the reason I put The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang is because, one, I've heard it's like a historical fantasy thing, and I love historical fiction. So that's kind of right up my alley. And then also I have a book by her called Babel, or The Babel. I don't know. So I'm looking at it over there. I just heard a lot of good things about this book. And like I said, historical fiction, count me in. The third book we have is The Witcher by, I'm about to mess this up, but it's okay, Andrzej. I'm gonna look up how to pronounce this.
Pronouncenames.com.
Andrzej Sapkowski.
Andrzej Sapkowski. I think that's the best way I could pronounce it. You heard me listen to it. I think that's the best I got. However, I wanted to read the series just because I played the game. I think I played the 3rd one, and I really liked it. I didn't know it was a book at the time. Now I do. So I definitely want to get into reading the first, maybe 2nd of those this year. I don't really know how many of them there are. I believe it's like 7. Don't count me on any of this stuff. I didn't do like extensive research. I just thought a series that I'm interested in. So yeah, I definitely want to read The Witcher. It sounds like something that's right up my alley. As you know, I like Game of Thrones. I like Lord of the Rings. This is no different, honestly. So really looking forward to reading that. The 4th series we have on here is The Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. And to be completely real with you, I don't know anything about this series at all. You can't ask me what the plot's about, what the characters, anything. The only thing I know is that it's by Brandon Sanderson. The first book is The Way of the Kings. And everybody on booktube, BookTok, don't matter, loves this series. I know the 5th book came out recently. I know some people are dropping off at the 5th book. I know some people are like keeping going. I know some people haven't even read it yet, just because I think it's 1,300 pages. I want to try out this series simply just because if I'm going to come into the territory, I got to come out swinging. And and that's really it. It's like an ode to just the community. I want to try it out. If everybody loves it so much, I don't think I've seen anyone that says they hate it or dislike it. It gets a really, really high praise. So this will be a series I really want to check out, and I probably will read the first book, at least the first book this year. I'm trying not to start first book of too many series, so I keep saying that for a lot, and by the end of February, you probably see me be a little more concise. A series that I already have the first 3 books of, so it won't be too hard to get into. So this one, I really mean it. Like I probably need to get through, I would say, the 3 books I have at least this year. And that is Dune by Frank Herbert. I watched the movie, the first one. I have not watched the second one because I kept telling myself I was going to read the book and I never did. So then I just ended up missing out on that movie. But we watched the first one, and it left me with more questions than answers. I was like, this looks good. Like as a movie, fantastic. It looks great. As a world, do I understand what's going on? No, not at all. So I really want to read it. I need to read it this year. If I don't read anything else, even though I said I know I want to read 20 books this year, if I don't read anything else, I need y'all to hold me accountable to reading at least the 3 Dune books I got. I cannot let this year go by without reading all 3 books. Speaking of Dune, another series that I have that's science fiction is Hyperion Cantos, I've heard it pronounced both ways, by Dan Simmons. And a lot of people, Dune is old. Dune's a really old book. I don't know when Dune came out, but it's a really old book. I know a lot of people that say that this Hyperion series, is the modern day Dune. It's like, their version of Dune. So people who, started writing books in the 80s, 90s, or late 80s, early 90s, always referred to Dune. People who write science fiction now, like from that point forward, from the late 80s to early 90s till now, always refer to kind of Hyperion series being their version of Dune. So with me being interested in Dune, I figured why not give it a shot. I don't know how many books there are, but I do know that a lot of people give it a lot of praise. So that's why I want to check it out. And then we can just go ahead and go into the last book. And that last book is the First Law trilogy by Joe Abercrombie. I know a lot of people talk about how great of a writer Joe Abercrombie is, from his characters to his dialogue. Like, I've heard just so many good things about Joe Abercrombie. And for the First Law, I don't really know too much about it. The biggest thing for me wanting to read it is one of my favorite booktubers. And honestly, I think all my booktubers are some of my favorite YouTubers in general. It's just kind of just maybe the vibe of booktube as a whole. He lives and dies by that book. Like, that's his book. He likes other stuff, of course, but that's like his book. So I really want to check it out and see what all the hoopla is about. I think some people he have recommended to didn't like it. So it's obviously not, it may not be one of those books, at least from outside looking in, that everybody just unanimously loves, but he loves it. And I know that, just by looking it up as he talks about it, that other people do love it, of course, just maybe not everybody. So it was one of those books that it could be divisive. So I would really like to get into it. I have the audiobook. I never listened to it. So maybe that's something I touch on, but I'm trying to stay away from audiobooks. I prefer to just read as much as I can. That does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I have no idea what my next video is going to be. Actually, I do. I wrote down like all the videos I wanted to do between now and May. Crazy, I know. Some of them may change, of course, but I did it to keep myself organized. Once again, I'm holding myself accountable, and that's what this channel is all about. And of course, meeting all you great people. So thank you so much for watching once again. I really appreciate it if you watch 1 second of any of these videos, whether my first video or this video, doesn't matter. I appreciate it so very much. So thank you for that, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.